Shut up.
Okay.
You are alive.
All right, we're in, I think.
Why?
Hey, everybody. Excuse us while we
Shut up.
work out some bugs.
You.
Oh.
What? Yeah. You better sit back, you know.
I don't know what's going on. Why the camera keeps not working. They can hear us, but they can't see
There
us.
you go. We're on? Yeah.
All right, so you guys can hear us, I think.
Let's see.
Hold on, let's test.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you guys. Sorry, let's not have an echo. So anyways, we're testing it today. We're not going to be on very long. We just wanted to figure out the mechanics of this. Hopefully it's working. I know you probably can't see us. I don't know what's going on with the camera. I'm not sure why it keeps going in and out. Just not sure why it's not picking it up. And I'm sure out of everything, it's picking up that song.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll get us for copyright. Not show our face. Oh, Lord.
Let's see. Can you?
Okay. So basically what we want to do is we want to talk about current events, Bible study, and prepping ideas from a teenage perspective. So that's why we have the boys. I'm just trying to see why the camera is not coming up. But in the meantime, we'll just talk.
I think the camera is working.
You think so?
Yeah. If you.
We just can't see it?
Here. Let's see.
Sorry, y'all. This is our first time, obviously. Guys, can you?
Yeah, they can't see us. I think the camera is working.
You think so?
Yeah. If you.
We just can't see.
We just can't.
No, say it's not working.
Okay.
Okay, well, anyways, we'll just talk and then we'll get it figured out later. Change that. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
All right, so today is Purim. Started last night at sundown. Do y'all remember? We read through the book of Esther last night. It's only 10 chapters, so it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
What did y'all think?
I liked it. I not liked it, but you know, it was a good story.
Yeah.
What did you get from it?
That you don't think that by behaving a certain way that it makes you better than somebody else.
So, what do you mean by that?
But gloating or bullying or being mean to people, and you might not even mean are trying to
based on what we read last night. So explain bullying in the book of Esther.
Because when the what's his name, the guy,
Haman?
Yeah, Haman was gloating to
What's the girl? Is it the girl that's fighting against him?
Esther.
Yeah,
That's the
Esther.
name of the book.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Let's recap the book so we don't sound so silly. So the book of Esther. There's King Xerxes. Xerxes. I don't know how to pronounce it. And what was his wife's name? Vashti.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Vashti disobeyed him. And so to make an example, he said he wanted to get a new wife, basically, and put her out. And he wanted her to be the most beautiful or whatever. I'm not sure the exact words. But basically, he wanted to make his former wife jealous and put the other one, Vashti, out because she was disobedient. Sorry for the background noise, y'all. Hold on.
It's going
Okay,
now.
sorry about that. Again, we're gonna work out these glitches. Right now, we are having to do this outside because it is. We're in the process of moving, and it's a mess inside.
Yeah.
Until we can move.
There's like a whole bunch.
And then once we move, we'll have a dedicated setup area to do our broadcast. But anyway, so again, this one we're just gonna work out the glitches, and obviously we'll have to get a better camera because I don't know what is going on. But anyway, so King Xerxes was looking for a new wife, and Mordecai was a Jew, and he was near the king's gates, and he overheard them talking about having basically almost like a contest or a audition for King Xerxes' new wife. And Mordecai was, y'all remember who Mordecai was?
Yeah.
Who?
Was Mordecai the...
Was Esther's uncle.
Yeah.
Esther's uncle. Esther's mom and dad died, and he took care of her and raised her.
Mm.
And so he said, "Okay, Esther, it's time for you to shine." And so you're gonna go do this. I think you're gonna be the one that he picks. And sure enough, she was the one. But before that happened, Mordecai had overheard two guards at the king's gate. He had overheard them saying that they were going to assassinate King Xerxes. So he got word to King Xerxes that they were going to try to assassinate him. And so they so he ended up killing the guards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then do you remember how they were killed?
Yeah, they impaled and put on a pole.
Yeah. That sounds really horrible.
I know, but
it's important. The reason we have to say that because it's important for the end of the story. So King Xerxes had them killed so that they couldn't kill him. And in the meantime, Esther was picked as the new wife. And there was a long training. It was like a year. Some versions of the Bible say beauty treatments, which I had never heard beauty treatments in the Bible before. But that's what it says in some. So anyway, she went through like 6 months of beauty treatments and
I think it's like
a year of preparing to be his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one of the highest in the land under the king was named Haman. And Haman, when he would pass through the gates and stuff, people would normally like bow to him or show respect or reverence. And so Mordecai wouldn't do that because Mordecai wasn't going to bow down to any god but Yahweh. And So he wasn't going to bow down to Haman. Well, Haman didn't like that because he was like, you better bow down to me. And so this would happen on several occasions. So eventually he's like, I don't want to just kill Mordecai. I want to kill all of the Jews. So he went back to King Xerxes and told him that he wanted him to make a decree to kill all the Jews. Well, his new wife, Esther, was a Jew. And he didn't know that. And so Mordecai spoke to Esther through some of their servants, and they would communicate back and forth. And Mordecai basically said that Haman not only wants to kill me, but he wants to kill all of us. And Esther was like, well, if I come to the king and he doesn't like point his golden scepter at me, then he would kill me. And so there's a really, let me get the line because it's really good if I can find it real quick. He says basically, well, if you don't, not only will you die, but so will all of your family. So let me see if I can find that real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Why are you so excited?
God, we got one.
Do y'all remember that verse?
It was about the golden scepter.
No, about when he said, when Mordecai said, if you don't, then it will not just be you, but all your father's people.
And
we're almost there. Hold on. I think it's Esther 5.
Mom's pulling it up.
No. I'm sorry about the camera, y'all. We're going to get this fixed. But we should talk about Purim anyway.
Yeah. We wanted you guys to see us, but of course the camera won't work. So.
But it was really great.
Yeah.
The way this whole story played out.
And he said, it was.
The verse was something about if you don't, God will still he will still deliver his people and your family will die.
Yeah.
Here goes. It says it's what is this? 4:12 through 14. It says, when Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, he sent back this.
No.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. We're outside and teenagers seem to be distracted. Really
no. There's just a cat over there.
Okay. So it says, when Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, he said back this answer: do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. And that's the fantastic verse of the whole thing. The whole thing. I mean, you could talk about that for all day, but let's finish the story really quick so we can get
on to
our discussion. So he basically told her, hey, you need to rise up, sister. It's time for you to
use what you've been
to do what you've been raised for such a time as this. So she goes to the king and she petitions him, and he does he extends his royal golden scepter at her and says basically that, what is your request? I'll give you up to half the kingdom. What is it that you would like? And she said, well, what I would like is for Haman and you to have a banquet. For Haman and you to have a banquet. And sorry guys. And so he says, okay, but what is your request? And she says, I'll request at the banquet. So so in the meantime, the king discovers that he never honored Mordecai for his, he had never honored Mordecai for saving him from the assassins. And so he has Haman come in and he says, Haman, if I was going to honor somebody, how would I do that? And so Haman thinks he's talking about him. So he's like, I think you should like basically roll out the red carpet, do all these fancy things, have people bow down to him in the streets and say honor to the, honor him and all this. Mm-hmm. Well, he says, okay, great. Now do that for my servant Mordecai. Mm-hmm. Well, Haman wanted Mordecai not only killed, but he wanted all his people killed. And now he has to set up all this stuff for him. Mm-hmm. Well, in the meantime, remember the decree has already gone out that all the Jews were going to be killed in all the lands. And remember, there's like 127 regions of the kingdom or kingdoms of the... Right. And so that was a lot of people that were going to be killed. And so at the banquet... they were talking, and he asks Esther again, what do you need? What is your request? And she says, I want you to impale Haman, because he was going to try to have Mordecai killed. And Mordecai was the one that was trying to save you, or that did save you. So they... So he went outside because he was upset. He was still close to him. But that's when he discovered also that Esther was Jewish, I believe. Because he said he was going to have me killed too. So he went outside and got kind of, how you have to yell at the moon. So he went out to do that. Well, in the meantime, Haman was begging Esther. She was sitting on a couch or some type of reclining chair. And, of course, reclining chair for that day. It's not like what we think of today. And so he went to beg Esther to stop it. And as King Xerxes was coming back in, he saw Haman like begging Esther, and it looked really odd to him. So he's like, what? Are you going to take my wife too?
Uh-huh. In my own house?
In my own house? Like, what is this? So...
that made the problem even worse.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, yeah, we're going to take care of him and his whole family. So then the king said, impale him.
On the
so they impaled Haman on the pole that they had set up for Mordecai outside of Haman's house.
How 5-inch something?
It's at a height of 50 cubits stands by. So a pole reaching the heights of 50 cubits stands by Haman's house. He had it set up for Mordecai, who spoke up to help the king. The king said, impale him on it. So it's not funny, but what's funny is, sometimes the enemy sets up things to destroy us, and he ends up being trapped in his own snares. Yeah. What's a snare?
Like a
trapper.
Yeah, it's like a trap.
Yeah.
Right? And so he ends up getting caught up in his own traps. Right? Because you can't do that to people. Yeah. For so long and not come back to you. Yeah. So what did we talk about the other day? What's that principle?
It is.
So what's the principle? We talked about that the other day. You get
what you deserve. No.
Well, kind of. You get what? You reap what you sow.
Yeah, that.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to get out what you put in. So if you put in,
A lot of bad stuff.
what was the example we talked about with the tree?
Oh,
If you plant a
Apple
apple tree and
and
seed,
you get oranges.
and you get oranges. Which one do you want? Oranges or apples? Apples, because
right, because did you expect to get an orange from an apple tree?
no.
No, because you planted apple seeds. So whatever you plant, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. And it's the same thing spiritually. So if we don't put in good things into our minds, then what are we going to get out?
Bad.
Not good things.
Yeah.
Right? And our actions won't be good. If we fill our time with spending time with God, praying, family, doing good things for other people, then what are we going to get out of that?
A lot of good things.
A good
relationship.
Yeah,
good relationships, good life. Because it doesn't mean that nothing's going to ever go wrong or bad. It just means that you'll have a support system, or you'll have
somebody to turn to,
somebody to help you through it in the meantime. So that's a good thing.
Help within itself.
Right. So I think Purim, well, let me fast forward really quick and finish the story of it.
Yeah.
So Esther but we have to remember that decree was already sent out to kill all the Jews. So Esther had to request that be stopped, and that they could defend themselves because it was too late. The soldiers were already set up to kill the Jews, and all the different provinces. So they needed to be able to defend themselves, and basically she was saying, can they defend themselves without punishment?
Yeah.
And originally what was going to happen was the soldiers who were going to come kill the Jews were going to also take all their plunder, right? They were going to take everything from them. But Esther said, we're gonna just defend ourselves. And yes, that means we're going to have to kill some people, but we're not going to touch their stuff. We don't want their stuff. We just want to live. And so he said, that's okay. Like, you can do that. And then I think the first day of what was it, like 50 people?
There's like 3 times.
I think the first day they killed 50 people.
The next day they killed 50, and then another was like 100 and some, like 1,000.
No, it was like 500,000.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was really it jumped from
500,
50 to 500,000. But I guess that you have to consider all of the provinces too.
Yeah. And adding them up each time. Yeah.
So that's what it says. It says, so Queen Esther, daughter of Abihail, although along with Mordecai the Jew, wrote with full authority to confirm this second letter concerning Purim. And Mordecai sent letters to all the Jews in the 127 provinces of Xerxes' kingdom. And again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct. Words of goodwill and assurance to establish these days of Purim at their designated times, as Mordecai the Jew and Queen Esther had decreed for them, and as they had established for themselves and their descendants in regard to their times of fasting and lamentation. Esther's decree confirmed these regulations about Purim, and it was written down in the records. So, we're not Jewish, right? We would say that maybe we learn and try to understand Judaism, but it's not because we're not Messianic Jews or that, but we have a Jewish background. But what is this bug? I'm so sorry. Be behind me, Satan. Sorry.
Dang bug.
So, but that doesn't mean we don't get to learn and understand and see what God's principles are for the Israelites. And we believe that we're under the new covenant, which makes us children of God if we accept Christ. So Christ was Jewish, and we can learn his ways, right? So it's important. The one interesting thing about the book of Esther is it doesn't mention God the entire time. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But can you feel God moving through that entire book?
Yeah.
Right?
Like he's there, but he's not in it though.
So the entire time you can feel God move, but he's
like he's there.
He's there. But he's not mentioned by name.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Do you think it might work?
Trying to see if I can get the camera to start back up, y'all. Sorry.
You click that. Maybe that might work. Stop mic, stop cam.
I am so sorry. Of course, everyone's outside now. We'll end this in just a few minutes so that we can know what we need to fix for the next time. But as far as current events go, how do you think
that is
the story of Esther relates to what's going on today? What do y'all think?
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, so we talked about that God saves his people.
Yeah.
Right? And he's going to save his people regardless of what one individual does. He'll still
be there.
He'll still bring about his will. So we don't have to trust that somebody else is going to do their job. Because whether they do their job or not, God is going to... Right, you have to trust God, exactly. So that's one key thing you can take from it. God saves his people. Right? Yeah. Another thing that comes out of it is that the way you live, you get how you live. Right? So however you're living is what you can expect.
Whatever you're building.
If you put in money to your bank account, what do you expect to get out? Money, right? If you put in gold and silver in your bank account, what do you expect to get out?
Money. I mean gold.
Gold and silver, right? With the bank, we were talking about this the other day too, that with the banking, you think of like interest and that your money can grow. But even when you think of terms of plants, like when you plant seeds, you're still getting interest because what you put in the ground, you pull out interest when it's harvested. You're going to get more than what you put in. So even the principle of harvesting, planting
has benefit.
is interest driven. So how much more when we give to other people can you expect to reap later?
That they'll do the right, help more other people with God and grow with God.
But when you give to other people, then you can expect what?
Them to do the same for you.
Well, not necessarily them specifically, but that God's going to do that for you. If God's going to do it for someone else, he can do it for you. So, we
bouncing off.
We share what we have. We give with a free and open heart. And then if it comes back, he usually will send it back to us in some form or fashion with interest. Right? Almost all the Bible stories that talk about somebody who's lost something, it usually comes back double or sometimes even 100-fold. So, we don't live
just.
I guess the lesson is we shouldn't live necessarily based on the way the world's economy is going. We need to live on God's economy,
Yeah.
right? And then when we live on God's economy, then He gives us the resources. So why would Christians prep?
Because.
Well, what do you think? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Good. Because you're doing like you're still like using what the things that God's given you, and you're storing it, and you're keeping it for the time that you really need it, instead of just wasting it in that one day.
Now, if you bought things and you wasted them, that wouldn't be very good.
Yeah.
But I would say even if things did go to waste, because sometimes you're not going to get to all of your long-term food storage, or there's cases where cans rust or bust or dent or whatever. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It just means that
learn from it.
You learn, right? You learn how to maybe not
put it in this certain way.
Right, exactly. Organize it a certain way. Bring your supplies up in a good rotation.
Yeah.
It's also good to, well, it's like an insurance. Like you'd buy insurance for your car. So it's not wrong for us to buy insurance for a car. So why would it be wrong for us to have some insurance of
food
supplies? The other thing is when we're able to have an abundance, we're able to help others as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that everybody who you tell or you suggest to get prepared to, that they're going to listen to you. But that's like the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. All we can do is, and it's the same thing with our faith.
Yeah.
All I can do is show you the love of Christ, and either you're going to accept it or not.
Yeah.
But it's not me who, it's not
Decides.
us. I say, when I say me, I mean everybody, like that's sharing the gospel. It's not us who saves anyone. So it's not our burden as far as
who lives and who dies.
Right. So all we do, our burden is to plant the seeds, or water seeds. I think it's in Corinthians where Paul was talking about Paul plants and Apollo waters, but it's God who gives the increase.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's God who makes things grow. It's God who allows the sun to come up and put sun to our plants and make them grow. Right? It's God who gives us the rain and to give us water to our plants to make them grow. Right? So we just have to do what God's asked us to do and trust Him to do the stuff that we don't know how to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Do
your best and trust God with the rest.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Anything else on y'all's mind?
Other than the song.
I am so sorry. This camera worked for 2 seconds and then stopped. And I don't know if I can go in and... I'm so sorry. I hope that music in the background. Let me mute it first. Yeah, we're going to have to cut it soon because I'm sure it's picking up that music. And I don't want us to get in trouble on our first broadcast.
There was one person watching.
There was.
Yeah.
Is it still muted?
No.
No, it's not muted anymore. But I was just trying to see if I could get the camera to come back on. But we'll have to get it fixed for the next time. I don't know why it doesn't want to stay on.
When are we going to do our next one?
I don't know. When do you want to do it again?
I want to do it after tomorrow.
Okay, so that was one thing I wanted to make a point about with Purim this time. So Purim doesn't always fall on Thursday. So the way Jewish days work. Do you remember how Jewish days work?
Uh,
What is a Jewish day?
sunrise to sunset.
Sunset to
To
sunset.
Oh,
The sunset.
So yesterday at sunset started Purim,
Mm.
and it ends today at sunset. And then at sunset today, what else starts?
Sabbath.
Sabbath. And then it ends
tomorrow
Saturday
at
at sunset.
Um,
Right? Tomorrow at sunset.
Mm.
So it's really interesting that this year Purim runs the way it does because and that's we talk about one of those verses last night when we were reading this.
Yeah.
It said that so right here it says that verse 18 in chapter 9, it says the Jews in Susa, however, had assembled on the 13th and the 14th, and then on the 15th they rested and made it a day of feasting and joy. So it's just interesting that they rested, because tomorrow, like literally, we go from Purim right into Sabbath. What is Sabbath?
resting.
Yeah.
Resting, right? And does that mean you just sleep all day?
No.
What's it mean?
It means you're
You're giving time to God.
Right.
not worrying about your work or your how things that are
Your bill.
Yeah, like
Something
things
like
that are bothering
Right.
you.
So basically, one of the things we listen to that I think is a good way to explain it. You take a break from the things that you would normally do on any other day. So if your way to make a living is through your computer, well then you take a break from your computer for the day.
Yeah.
If your daily tasks include, doesn't mean that you don't do anything. It doesn't mean that you don't eat. I've been starting to fast during Sabbath. So after dinner tonight, then I won't eat until dinner tomorrow. I haven't gotten to the fasting of the drinks yet. I still need to drink my water.
Drink water.
I'll get there though. Because fasting's important.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't realize, how important it was until recently. But I've seen a lot of movement just in the last week from last Sabbath from fasting. Seeing a lot of things. One quick thing we'll finish. So we'd said that getting prepared is a form of interest, like insurance. I mean, it's also a form of being able to help others if they have a time of need. Another thing why it's a good thing for Christians to prepare is because God told us to be smart with our money.
Resources.
He told us to be smart with our resources. Exactly. And if today I can buy something for $5 and I know I can see the prices are going up, and I know that next week is going to be $5.50,
Like $2.
or 2 weeks from now it'll be $6, or 3 weeks it'll be $7. Wouldn't I do myself a service to buy it at $5?
Yeah.
Today, when I don't have to buy it at $10, maybe in a month from now.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing prices go up. What's some things you've seen prices go up on?
Avocados.
Avocados went up.
Cans that are 99 cents per can.
Right. They were selling individual cans at BJ's, which we've never seen before. BJ's is like a Sam's Club or like a Costco. For those of you who don't know what a BJ's is, and it has they were selling individual cans, which is odd to begin with because it's never been something that we've seen before there. I mean, we've seen the Big 10, number 10 cans, but not, or the packs, like cases of cans but not individual cans. And they were selling them 99 cents a can. And I think, what was it for? Like green beans or something?
Yeah.
It was not a good deal. Like,
Mhm.
you could get them cheaper at Aldi or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it was like really odd seeing that. So you're already seeing some strange things going on. And that was going on a month ago.
Mhm.
So can you imagine what we'll see this month when we go in?
Mm.
So anyhow, so it's a form of basically you're couponing
Yeah.
Mhm.
now at
All the
lower
stores.
prices, so you can get better value, I guess,
Mm.
for your items. And when you have an abundance, you can share a lot easier. It's a whole lot easier to share. Because if you already know that you are taken care of, then now you can help someone else get taken care of. You know, you might not be able to take care of them all the way around.
Yeah.
But if I gave a couple cans to somebody else gave a couple cans to somebody else, then we can get people back to where they need to be.
Everybody's good.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, if you're doing prepping for
Self-gain.
wastefulness and self gain and hoarding, which again, hoarders and preppers are two different things. But if you're doing that for those purposes, then no, don't do it.
Mhm.
Just stay away from it. But if you are, you understand why you're doing it. You have a goal in mind.
Yeah.
You aren't just buying cans because they're there. If you know full well you're never going to eat them, then that's it's wasteful. I'm not going to buy. Let me think of something I wouldn't.
Peaches or something.
Well, just something really gross, like canned Brussels sprouts or something.
Yeah.
Ew.
I can barely eat regular Brussels sprouts, but just something you're not going to eat. Don't buy it. I don't care how cheap it is.
Because just because you don't like them doesn't mean
Right.
everybody else.
But I shouldn't say I don't care how cheap it is, because there is some things that you can barter.
Yeah.
So if you find a really good deal, then I'm just saying, you can
spam or something.
You can barter that or give it to the food bank or something. So it just depends. Use your discernment. God gives you a brain.
Yeah.
Ask for his help and wisdom. All right. Anything else y'all want to talk about?
I don't want to end it though.
Oh, no, you don't.
I like doing this. I want to do another one
tomorrow.
Yeah, after maybe tomorrow or
So maybe tomorrow after Sabbath.
Yeah.
We'll do another one.
Around 5-ish.
And hopefully we can get the camera fixed by then.
Yeah.
And then you can see us.
Yeah. Maybe what I'll do is hook up the phone. Because since that, I don't know. No. I would say since that goes from there to there, but
Then you could use.
it's not gonna work.
How? You could use your phone charger. I
don't know. We'll figure that out later. So anyways, thank y'all for sticking around. I don't know whoever's going to watch this. Once we get a schedule, we'll start putting out posts to notify people when we're going to come live. Maybe we'll get a, twice or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
We'll come on for like 15 or 20 minutes.
I want 30 minutes.
You wanted an hour, but come on. What are we already at?
I don't know.
I don't know what we're at. Too long.
We were gonna say something. I was gonna say something, but forgot.
What?
Oh yeah.
So some of the things that that the boys like to talk about too is some of the stuff that's going on in our current events. They are up to speed on disinformation. They're up to speed on a lot of the things that are going on in the world that they're capable of understanding. And so they want to share some of their views on like different movies and things that they see symbolism wise. We have to be careful of the words we use.
We don't get shut down.
Because censorship is real, y'all. So we have to be careful of the words we use. But yeah, so that's what some of our stuff's going to entail. So prepping, Bible studies, and current events.
Yeah.
Right?
And once we move, we'll have on our
Way better.
Yeah, we have way better stuff, and
We have a good webcam. We'll see if we can find it.
and
We have all our stuff boxed up, so that's
on our
hard to.
on our the channel, this channel, but not broadcasting. I mean, like
Video.
videos that we post. We'll have more out.
More videos up. Yeah. I have a bunch that I need to post. A bunch.
Well,
It's really sad.
Some of it's sad, but some of it's
Well, it's sad that I have so many that's not been posted. But you know, it's YouTube life, y'all. That's how it goes.
It is what it is.
It
It is what it is. Yeah. All right. So, you want to do a prayer?
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you, Father, for this time. Thank you for the ability to be able to get together and just have discussions, share the Bible. Thank you for Purim. Thank you for saving your people so that we could come
Talk
today
about
and talk about it. And thank you for your son. We thank you for the sacrifice Yeshua made on the cross for us. We're so grateful that his blood covers us. We ask, Lord, that you would continue to guide us and keep us, show us your will and your way. Cover us from the top of our heads to the soles of our feet, our life, our health, our coming and going. We ask, Lord, that the thoughts of our hearts and the words that come out of our mouth are pleasing to you. And just continue to show us, guide us, and keep us. We thank you for a Sabbath rest. We're going to have our Shabbat here soon. And we're just grateful. We just thank you, Lord, for guiding us and keeping us. Thank you that nothing that you do, nothing that you say, nothing that you will comes back void. It's not in vain. And just keep our heads up. Show us where it is and what it is you want us to do. Continue to reach whoever this is supposed to reach. We are just grateful for the time, and it was cleansing for our souls.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see fit that we should be doing this some more, then we pray that we can. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, all you're doing, all you're going to do. Continue to guide us and keep us. In Yeshua's holy and precious name, we ask these things.
Amen.
Amen. All right, everybody. So hopefully we can do this with a little bit less distractions next time.
Mm-hmm.
So thank y'all. And I don't even know how long this went, so I apologize. We're going to have to keep track of that better next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks again. Y'all have any last words?
Like we said, we're newbies.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Stay positive.
Stay positive. Okay. All right. Till next time. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it won't be till probably tomorrow evening.
Yeah. But can it be like longer than 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's been longer than 15 minutes now, just so you know.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.